So this is day 2 of Blender and I'm going to be making crystals today. So this is what I made, and let's see how I got there. It's the same as always, like they give you the box, they give you the stuff, and everyone deletes it all. I don't know why, but this is just what happens. So let's replace what we just had there by pressing Shift A and getting that cube up. And if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, then please subscribe to the channel. We'll just let you know when the videos come up, and I'm going to make something new every day to help me learn how to do this. We're going to start changing the size, so you can do this by pressing clicking the object and then pressing S. And to do this, so if you want to make it bigger but not one of the axes, you can press Shift and then so I press Shift Z, so it didn't change the Z axis, but it changed the other two. Then just started to play around with the shape, to be honest with you. So I decided that I don't know why I was changing the angles, but I was gonna add some loop cuts, right? This is the way that I figured that would be the best way to do it. If you know different ways, please do put it in the comments. Just like, this is me trying to work out the best ways of doing this. So I pressed Control R, that gave me a loop cut. Now, if you use the scrolling bit in the middle of your mouse, you can increase the number and then you can move it around until you right click or left click to position it, right? So I decided I was going to put quite a few little loop cuts in different places because crystals are irregular. I really recommend using like a reference image to try and get the kind of shapes that you were going for and the looks you're going for. And then I started to just twist and change certain aspects of the shape, right? So I was literally doing this by grabbing, and then I realized that actually I needed to do a bit where it took more of the surrounding ones and it balanced it out, right? So that's what that little circle and the wavy line at the top is. It helps to group other things together, so it moves them all in one go rather than just moving the single points. I went through and just started to play around with it a bit. Using the reference art is important because it gave me an idea of the shape. The problem was it was flat, so I had to make up the rest with my head. So I've speeded this up a bit because, to be honest with you, like I was playing around with this for a little while, probably longer than I really wanted to. But I think it was important just trying to get the shape that I wanted and I was going for. And I think like adding some more loop cuts and changing around the positions and the shapes and stuff, like it was important for me just to try and get this right. I'm not trying to just rush this to make content and stuff. Like I'm actually trying to learn how to do this. So on that one, I grouped all the faces and I used the the scale to bring it in and out. And I just found like it could mean I could cinch in the bottom there, like the crystals had formed at the base and come out a bit more. So it was just me playing around and starting to like work out how I wanted to use it. So hence why it's a bit longer. So I apologize if this bit of video is a bit long. Feel free to skip through a little bit if you want to, or if you want to see all the transitions, then keep watching. I hope you're enjoying it. Again, like I really appreciate if you got this far, watching this far of the video. I think as I'm learning, like there's a few things I'm doing again and again and like going back and fixing, but I think it's important for people to see. Like I'm not a professional blender artist, I'm just a person trying to learn this, and I think if we can all learn from each other's mistakes and what works and stuff, like it's a beautiful thing at the same time. So I was kind of happy with the shape, the basic shape here, and so then I decided to do some beveling. So beveling, like it changes the edges, and so I selected a group, like an area, and I then basically use that area to just add more like facets, like when they cut diamonds, so you cut facets into it. So I wanted to add some more of those in like specific areas. Like I like the big shards and the big plain areas, and then obviously all of the little areas like work well. And I find like having the points really close together, like it became a bit messy for me. So I just selected them and then I merged it by pressing Control M and then doing at center. But I messed up a few times here, so I'm because it merged in a weird way. I kind of grouped it, and at one point I grouped it to the complete other side, so I had to change all that up and undo it and go back. So it's annoying, but it is what it is. Like, it's fine. It's just something to learn. Like, sometimes you can do like the see-through one, but you have to be really careful what you grab on the other side, especially when you're going to merge it together. It just doesn't work, and then you go back, find your error and stuff. But again, learning curves. So I'm coming to the end of me like tinkering around with the whole crystal shape and stuff, and it took about, let's say, like 10 minutes altogether to do, which isn't too bad. Like, for the first time ever making a crystal, like just thinking about the shapes and stuff, not really using too much sculpting tools here, just using the actual like the layout and the tab mode to do it. So then I went to add some colors where I make this look like a crystal or more like a crystal than what it currently does. Like, I don't really understand the nodes yet, so I'm just trying. Like, I used a little tutorial to try and get here, and from what I can see, like, it kind of works off of the same as the materials. So I'm adding a material like this, the same thing where if you can make it more or less transparent, more shiny with the roughness. If you bring that all the way down, it will reflect more. I got told that cycles works better in the rendering mode, especially for glass. So that was a point I picked up. And then if I went into this world here, I changed it to studio. I didn't think that worked too well, so I changed that later on. Um, this is me like just trying to follow some of the settings of the different tutorial. I'd play around with this, like depending on what computer you have and stuff, depends on whether you can use OptX and stuff. If you haven't got OptX, then use the one below it. That will give you the best results apparently. This is my crystal. I was kind of happy with this, to be honest with you. Um, I think it's called Amphenite or something like that. The purple one, anyway. Like, purple's my favorite color. Apparently, it's not even a real color. I don't know. Some spectrum is like, it's like tones of violet. It's not really a color in itself, but that's a whole nother argument and discussion, right? Um, so another thing I did is I put the surface, I put it as glass, and that really helped to make it look more shiny and reflective and stuff. I changed the setting of the background so it wasn't so studio-y, and then I just started to play around with the colors. I added another color in there too. This is where I put the glass one on. I changed it to gloss just to see. Like, I was playing around with this. Like, I suggest you do the same thing too, just to see how it goes. And then I added another color as well. I think I did that in the node. Um, and then yeah, I just went around and saw what all the different colors were like. So this is how I made my first crystal in Blender, first ever one. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for checking out the video, and if you stayed this long, why not subscribe and get more. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a little bit of a workshop. I'm going to create a workshop. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, but I'm sure it'll be fun.